The Lagos night buzzed with life outside Adebayo Olanuwaju's sprawling mansion in Ikoyi. The city never slept, streetlights glowed, horns blared faintly from the third mainland bridge, and roadside suya vendors called out to late-night passers-by. Adebayo, a tech billionaire whose name adorned Lagos billboards, stepped out of his sleek black SUV, his polished shoes clicking on the marble driveway. Another gala, another round of forced smiles and handshakes, another check written for a cause he barely understood. His temples throbbed, his body ached for rest. All he wanted was the silence of his air-conditioned mansion. Inside, the house was dim, the only sound the faint hum of the generator outside. Adebayo loosened his tie, expecting the usual stillness. But as he shut the heavy oak door, a hand grabbed his arm, and another clamped over his mouth. His heart lurched, instincts flaring. He spun, ready to shout, but a low, urgent voice stopped him. "Please, sir, don't make a sound." It was Chidera, the young man who had been cleaning his home for the past month. Adebayo barely knew him, always in the background, quiet, efficient, in his crisp white shirt and black trousers. But now, Chidera's eyes were wide, brimming with something raw fear, maybe grief. "What is this nonsense?" Adebayo whispered, yanking his arm free. Chidera's voice shook but held firm. "Your daughter, sir. She's sleepwalking. If you wake her now, it could hurt her." Adebayo froze. His daughter, Temi, 8 years old, with her mother's dimpled smile. Sleepwalking. The word felt foreign, impossible. He followed Chidera's gaze down the hallway, where a small figure stood near the staircase, a nightgown swaying slightly, eyes open but unseen. His stomach dropped. Adebayo's voice was low, barely a whisper. "How long has this been happening?" Chidera glanced at Temi, then back at him. "Since I started here, sir. Every night, around this time. I've been staying late to watch her. Tonight, she almost fell down the stairs." The words hit Adebayo like a fist. He hadn't been home enough to notice. Days bled into weeks, flights to Dubai, meetings in London, deals sealed over whiskey in Abuja. Temi was always cared for, wasn't she? Nannies, tutors, drivers. He'd made sure of it. But this, a stranger, a maid, staying past his hours to protect his daughter. Shame crept into his chest. "Why didn't you tell me?" he asked, his voice softer now, almost broken. Chidera's hands twisted together. "I wasn't sure you'd care, sir." The honesty stung worse than any insult. Adebayo looked at Temi, still standing motionless by the stairs. "I care," he said, but the words felt hollow. Chidera didn't flinch. "She doesn't need money, sir. She needs you." Adebayo's throat tightened. He stepped toward Temi, moving slowly as Chidera guided him. "Don't startle her," Chidera whispered. "Just walk her back to bed." Adebayo nodded, his hands trembling as he reached for his daughter. "Temi," he murmured, "come with daddy." Her small hand slipped into his, and she shuffled forward, eyes still glazed. He led her to her room, tucking her under the pink duvet. Her breathing steadied, and for the first time in months, Adebayo noticed how fragile she looked. Back in the kitchen, Chidera was pouring hot water into 2 mugs, the scent of Milo filling the air. "You need this," he said, sliding one toward Adebayo. Adebayo leaned against the counter, exhaustion and guilt warring inside him. "How did you know what to do?" he asked. Chidera shrugged, staring into his mug. "My sister used to sleepwalk when we were kids. My mother worked late, so I learned to guide her." You just stay close, keep them safe. Adebayo studied him. Chidera couldn't be older than 22, yet his eyes carried a weight far beyond his years. You're not paid to stay late, Adebayo said. I know, Chidera replied. But I couldn't leave her like that. The simplicity of his words cut deeper than any lecture. Adebayo thought of the nannies he'd hired, the private school fees he paid, the toys he sent from abroad. He'd thought it was enough. But here was Chidera, earning a fraction of what Adebayo spent on a single suit, guarding Temi's life in the dark. I want you to stay, Adebayo said suddenly. Not just as a maid. I need someone who sees her the way you do. Chidera met his gaze. You don't need to pay for that, sir. Just be here. Adebayo nodded, the weight of the promise settling over him. Teach me how. The next morning, Lagos roared to life outside, Okadas weaving through traffic, hawkers shouting about fresh bread. But inside the mansion, something had shifted. Adebayo sat at the dining table, watching Temi devour a plate of yam and egg stew. He hadn't eaten breakfast with her in months. Like it, he asked, nodding at her plate. Temi grinned, her mouth full. Chidera makes it spicy. Adebayo glanced at Chidera, who was wiping down the counter. The young man offered a small smile before turning away. After breakfast, Adebayo helped Temi get ready for school, fumbling with her braids and laughing when she teased him for it. He walked her to the car himself, ignoring the curious stares from his security guards. Back upstairs, Chidera was sweeping the living room. I was wrong, Adebayo said. I thought money was enough. I want to be here for her, for real. Chidera paused, leaning on the broom. Start small, sir. Eat with her. Listen to her. Let her know you're not going anywhere. Adebayo exhaled. You speak like you've lived this. Chidera's eyes darkened briefly. I have. Weeks passed, and the mansion began to feel like a home. Temi's laughter echoed through the halls. The dining table bore juice stains and crayon marks. Adebayo canceled trips, worked from home, learned to braid Temi's hair, badly, and read her bedtime stories. Chidera remained, quietly guiding when needed, never overstepping. One evening, as Chidera prepared to leave, Adebayo stopped him. Thank you, he said. For that night. For showing me what I was missing. Chidera shook his head. You found her yourself, sir. I just held the door open. From Temi's room, a small voice called, Daddy. Adebayo turned, his heart full. I'm here, princess, he called back, rushing to her side. As he tucked her in, Temi whispered, You won't leave again, right? Adebayo kissed her forehead. Never. I promise. And for the first time, he felt like more than a billionaire. He felt like a father. If this story touched your heart, please hit the like button and subscribe to join our community for more heartfelt and inspiring tales. Share in the comments where you're watching from, we love hearing from you. Your support means the world to us. Stay kind, stay hopeful, and let's grow this journey together.